Hi, this is Lou, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a little drawing in my sketchbook. So I've got a sketchbook here that I'm using to just draw patterns in every day, and I thought I'd do some abstract minimal ones with triangles and lines and kind of do those over a few days and share the process with you. So for this one here, the pattern that I'm drawing is going to be all kind of triangles. I call these patterns networks because they're all about triangles joined together. So I start just by putting down some triangles. And for this one, I've started with a ring. So I've drawn a circle in pencil on the page, and I'm just drawing my first set of triangles around that circle. As I'm drawing, I'm going quite intuitively, and I'm not thinking too fast about where my triangles are going. I'm just putting them down. If I do it that way, if I think too much about it, I'll end up with them looking too neat. But doing them quite quickly allows me to not think too much about how they're joined together, just making sure that they are. For each of my little sketches, I kind of come up with a set of rules that I follow. And for this one, the first rule is simply that all of the shapes are triangles. The second rule is that they all join together. The third rule, which I'm starting now, is that I work out in rows, and each row that I make is going to be slightly bigger than the last one. I find by setting these sets of rules for drawing, I can generate really interesting patterns. Some of them might not be terribly exciting on their own, but by changing the rules each time and saying, what if I change this time? What if I change the starting conditions? What if I change one of the sets of criteria? Will I end up with a slightly different pattern? So for this one, I'm working one row on the outside of my original ring and then one row on the inside. Sometimes I can create a new triangle by joining two kind of tips of triangles that are already there together with another line. Sometimes there aren't two bits sticking out like that would make a nice triangle. So I have to draw two lines out to create the three lines of the triangle. As each row goes, I'm just moving my line slightly further out each time. So there shouldn't be too much difference between one row and the next. But over time, and as the pattern develops, you should see that the triangles in the circle are much smaller, and then the ones further away from that circle just get a little bit bigger. The pattern becomes more and more obvious the more you draw. I find that when I set out on drawing a pattern like this, I notice things about my drawing. Those aren't necessarily the same as the criteria I set out when I started it, but they're things that if I notice them, then there could be interesting things to change in a future pattern, in a future drawing, to see what difference it makes. One of the things I noticed when I was drawing this was that I have in my head like an ideal triangle with the equal sides and equal angles. And if a triangle that I might draw is too far away from that ideal, then I feel uncomfortable about drawing it. So I'm not doing anything with that knowledge just now. I'm just sitting with it and noticing that about myself. And in future I might make a similar drawing, but lean into the discomfort of making uncomfortable looking triangles and see what difference that makes to the pattern. If you give this a go, I would love to know, did you follow the same rules as I did? Did you notice anything about your own drawing and the ways that you make triangles that are different to the ways that I make them? And then what would you change for next time? If you made a similar pattern again, which one criteria would you change to change the look of the final pattern? So thanks for watching today. I do hope that you give this a go. If you enjoyed it, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more like this, then do let me know down in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you in another video. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.